Are you a certified medical biller or coder struggling to get your start in the industry? Check out my latest RCM Roundup where I provide tips on how you can navigate getting your start. Let's go.
Consider areas where they're not going to be as stringent on the experience level with the intention of I'm going to get my foot in the door. I'm going to get some experience under my belt, and then I'm going to parlay this into the area that I really want to work in. Another great area that you may want to look at is the prior authorization process. Remember what I said, certain practices have very specific services that they perform. And a lot of times those services, especially if they're surgical procedures, require prior authorization. And when you're dealing with prior authorization, oftentimes you have to send clinical information, you have to send supporting documentation, you have to follow up with the insurance company before the procedure will get approved. And and medical facilities need individuals to complete this. So again, this is a great way to get your foot in the door. Another area that you want to consider is medical collections. Collections, collections is vital. Okay. Collections is essentially once you get your bill out the door, stalking the insurance company and saying, "Where's my money?" Just joking. I like to joke to just break up the monotony of what we're talking about. But collections essentially is making sure that medical practices get paid for their services, following up with the insurance companies, making sure that if claims are getting denied, that you are resolving those claims issues and getting it back out the door. So, and a lot of times organizations need good medical collectors. And being a medical collector, you will find an employer will give you an opportunity with less experience. And the great thing about feel like areas like prior authorization and medical collections is you get exposed to a lot of the coding and a lot of the billing practices, and it actually helps you gain better insight into the field and what you're supposed to do. So I want you to consider, if you're having a hard time getting into the industry and you're certified, I want you to consider what are the other areas that I can apply to that will allow me to get my foot in the door so I can get the experience on my resume to then transition. When I started out at Downstate, I was hired as a clerical specialist. I wasn't trying to be no clerical specialist after I went to school for billing, but that's the position that I took to get my foot in the door. I stayed there for 2 years. And then after 2 years, I was finally able to transition into a medical billing position. So I'm not just saying this because it sounds good. I'm saying this because I actually live this and I can relate to it. And I just want to say that beyond RCM, we recently launched mini programs. So like I said, I've taken a lot of certifications. I've done a couple of degrees. So I have a pretty good pulse on what is inside most of these curriculums. And what we are doing at Beyond RCM is we have launched a teachable platform where we are releasing teachable lessons every month at a very cost-effective price, where we will give you a deep dive into these different areas. So our first lesson launched this month, which is insurance verification. We give you an in-depth understanding of the insurance verification process. It's not log in, put in the member ID, date of birth, and no. We break it down and we explain. We explain the purpose of insurance verification, the fundamentals of insurance verification, the concepts of key components in the verification process, how to leverage technology to do verifications correctly, and best practices. So if you are interested in getting a deep dive into these different areas, I definitely want you to check out our website, www.beyondrcm.com. We're going to be putting out cost-effective lessons, one lesson per month for the next 12 months. And we're going to be touching on topics that specifically a lot of the colleges do not spend enough time deep diving into, and a lot of the billing and coding certification programs do not spend a lot of time deep diving into. So I'm really, really excited about that.